the first Chinese cancellation. That was January 2021. So at this point, I was only maybe 5 months into Uncle Roger and like just started to, oh shit, people are paying attention to me, just started being known. So I didn't know what I was doing. So I collabed with this guy. His name is Mike Chen. He runs a YouTube channel called Strictly Dumpling. And then you go to his channel, it's just food vlogs. So I thought, oh yeah, it's just a food vlogger, cool. So we reviewed this video together where over Zoom, we are both reviewing, I think it was Epicurious or some food network making, a chef making dumplings and doing a horrific job about that, you know? So we were just roasting the food, whatever, edited a video, posted it. I remember I posted it and then I had to go back to Malaysia to visit family because Malaysia just started allowing foreign residents in. I land in Malaysia, you have to quarantine for a week inside a hotel room by yourself. It's very normal procedure at the time. You get a negative test, quarantine in a hotel room for a week. And then I remember just unpacking the hotel room, sleeping, waking up, and then I got a message from the people who manage my Chinese social media. I just started Weibo and Bilibili at the time. Weibo is Chinese Twitter-like platform, and Bilibili is Chinese YouTube. So I just started those platforms, paid a bit of money up front for them to start it, and then I got a message from them saying, my Chinese social media agent saying, hey Nigel, your account's getting reported because apparently that Mike Chen guy from Strictly Dumpling is one, very, very anti-CCP publicly on his social media, and two, he's also part of this organization called Falun Gong. Are you familiar?
We are, yeah.
Okay, you are, but I guess
But
a
tell
Western
our audience
audience
a little bit more. Tell our audience a little bit more about Falun Gong.
Yeah, it's... I have to be careful with my words here. I don't want to get sued, you know? So...
Yeah, be careful because we could get sued as well. So extra careful.
I hope you have liability insurance. Yeah. So it's an organization, a lot of people think it's a cult, but if you ask someone from Falun Gong, they will just say they are an organization, a spiritual organization that practices the three universal truths of honesty, forbearance, and compassion, you know, whatever that means, right? But a lot of people online think it's a cult, right? And it's a cult that's very, very, let's think of it as Chinese Scientology. But apparently some shit happened when they were in China. The founder of that, of Falun Gong fled China, and nobody really knows what happens. I just know some shit has gone down. And all this stuff is impossible to research online, especially on Western internet. And like it's just impossible to find. You'll find resources from Falun Gong affiliated organizations saying, oh, we're just we just do Tai Chi in the park every day. You know, why are you persecuting us? And then you see on the China side, I said, no, they did a lot of crazy shit back then. So do your own research. I'm not gonna say anything that would incriminate me. So basically, if you're seen in China, if you're seen working with someone from this organization, that's an automatic ban. You'll be like persona non grata. You can't even enter the country. So that's why my accounts were getting reported, because people think in Chinese social media, you get a lot of these, over here, you call them social justice warriors. That is their flavor. They're very jingoistic, nationalist types people say, oh, have you seen Uncle Roger work with this guy? And then they would they have these nationalist pages. They would have their fans report you, kind of doxing you, you know? So that's how my accounts got, was about to get suspended. And I was like, oh shit, what do you do? I have no clue. I was new to this whole social media thing, right? So I asked my Chinese social media agents, who were, all of them were Chinese people based in China. So they said, oh yeah, well, when something like this happens, usually we just issue a statement and then and take down the video, that should go away. And then I was like, oh, okay. I had no clue, right? So I was like, just handle it. So they wrote me a statement. I read it. I was like, oh yeah, it feels like, you know, copy and paste boilerplate a statement. Yeah, just fine. Just post it. But then I posted a statement. Then someone on Twitter, now it's the Western world, say, oh, have you seen Uncle Roger apologizing and kowtowing to the CCP? I was like, oh shit. Then I read the statement back. I was like, oh yeah, okay, it does sound like In hindsight, if I were to do things differently, I would have probably like be more involved in that process and be like, no, let's not post this, because it does read like I am apologizing. I basically stepped on a landmine. You know, the fact that, to me, that video was not political, right? But the fact that, and I didn't even post it on Chinese socials, But somebody from Chinese Social screenshotted me on YouTube working with this Mike Chen guy and then posted on Weibo and Bilibili. And I said, look at this, Uncle Roger's working with a known cultist. And then that made it political. So at that point, it was lose-lose either way. If I kept the video up, I would have nuked my Chinese socials. If I took the video down, the Western world would have hated me. So
who'd you pick?
well, at that time, I was like, I just started the Chinese. I didn't know it was going to be such a big deal. That was my naivete, and I own that mistake now, definitely. So yeah, I picked taking a video down because I was like, well, my Chinese fans seem cool. They like me. Let's just keep it going.
Yeah.
And that became very political. And then when I took the video down and the Western world started hating on me, Mike Chen, this pissed me off a little bit, because sure, I did have to unfollow him on my Chinese social media agent's orders, and I think he should know what is going on, but then he just went on all this because he's part of the Falun Gong, and this is a known fact. He promotes it on his channel that he's part of this Falun Gong. Falun Gong also does Shen Yun, so most people, they will know Shen Yun, that show, the Chinese on a tube adverts. You see a lot of tube adverts on the show, so that's affiliated with the Falun Gong. So right when the Western world started hating me, Mike Chen started doing his whole rounds of podcasts because the Falun Gong own a lot of YouTube channels. The Epoch Times is a Falun Gong
That's
newspaper.
how I know about it, because I've done a couple of shows on their platform, and we know someone there who's actually not Chinese, who I think is part of it.
Yeah, it's not. It's the Western, the Falun Gong's Western arm. Yeah. And then they also have the New Tang Dynasty, which is a YouTube channel, and a few other channels. I think China Uncensored on YouTube is also part of their organization. And a lot of people say, it's not me, a lot of people are saying that Mike Chen is pretty high up in that Falun Gong organization. So he has friends in all these channels, and he was doing just the podcast rounds. Like, doing the Rogan circuit.
Yeah. Was he slagging you off? Was that what happened?
Yeah.
He threw you under the bus a little bit.
Yeah, threw me under the bus. So that was why I was a little bit, come on, dude. I'm new to this world. I'm operating off the back foot here. I don't even know why I got canceled. I'm researching everything. And he threw me under the bus. So now people say, we'll get to the second cancellation, but people ask, like, now that China hates you, are you going to put on that old dumping video up? So I was like, nah, because it just doesn't feel great being a pawn in this war between the China's the CCP's propaganda and then the Falun Gong's propaganda. So yeah, it just left a shitty taste in my mouth.